example, the town of Anthony, Texas, I know it's a different state. This was basically, mirrored with what they're doing, like, for people that have not gone or are familiar with the town of Anthony, Texas, is, chain of command or procedures. They have, council over there, and then, the mayor and the department liaison. The department liaison, what they do is, city councilor, in this case a trustee, is, they decide which department they're going to be the liaison for in an open meeting, and then they, vote on it over there. At that point, liaison is basically the voucher for the department. For example, things like the budget and stuff like that, let's say, I'm overseeing the library department and I think we need, a change of books or stuff like that, then I come and vouch for them with the city council. I have, one-on-one, conversations with the library department, and what that does is that allows us to see how our public dollar are being used, with the, city. So here, the board of trustees is on the top, because they're the ones that do the policies and stuff like that. It's not saying that the board of trustees are over the mayor. Basically, it's saying that the board of trustees is, kind of like the ones that, draft legislation, and the mayor is the one that, executes the legislation, policies that we have and stuff like that. And then from the mayor, obviously the mayor's on the top, is the department liaison, which is the trustees. The department, like I was explaining, each department liaison is in charge of, a department. Here we have, basically simple, chief of police, staff, city clerk, staff, public works supervisor, staff, finance department, chair, staff, human resources department chair, staff, library department chair, staff, MED department head, staff. At that point, once this is approved, over the next couple of meetings, I would recommend that we do, a chain of command for, every, department, what's under a chief of police, what's under city clerk, and stuff like that. I know we have things like the budget that tells us, these are the specific individuals that are under, but I know there's talks with, putting different people on there and stuff like that. I do think, I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I think that a department liaison would be good, to basically come educated to the city council meetings, when we're passing things, for example, the previous meeting, we didn't pass the lawnmowers, maybe with having a department liaison, that would be a different story. Maybe they really do need them, but we don't have enough education right now to know, if it's actually necessary, or not. Like I said, the town of Anthony, Texas, if you go, on Google and put, HR handbook, town of Anthony, Texas, this is basically on page 3. And like I said, it's Texas, but it's this, similar smaller town. That's the way that they're, operating over there without a city manager, and we can see, the difference in the towns. My boss recently drove through Anthony, and she kind of told me something that was like, oh wow, it kind of hit me hard. She was like, I can tell where Anthony, Texas is and where Anthony, New Mexico is. Anthony, Texas is the one without potholes. New Mexico is the one with potholes. So maybe that makes, that's like a year for us to, start getting more, involved. Because like I said, I still have to go to work, and I'm like, wow, that's the way they think about me, so, maybe that's the one that lit a match, under my chair to start getting, more involved. But yes, simple, chain of command, that I think should be implemented. I don't know what other comments any of the board members have. Trustee Garcia, go ahead.
As far as the chain of command, I agree with the chain of command. The only difference is if we're wanting these department heads to come and present to us, I think liaisons would work, but we have to let them come and present it to us. And we would just be a supplemental aid to whatever they leave off. Let them make the presentation to us, to the board, and whatever they leave off, then we could interact and say, well, we can add to whatever they bring to the board. But for us to come and talk about a certain department, us, as trustees, I feel that they should come to us. We've already talked about it in the past. We need them to come and do presentations on what is happening with the departments. So the department liaison would work, but only as a supplement to these department heads coming and talking to us. That's how I feel.
Trustee Herrera, go ahead.
I agree with, trustee Garcia. I don't think that, liaison would have to go up, present itself out there in front of, and, you know, stand up and say, "Oh, we need this for this department." I've been advocating for a long time now, and on these, board comments and everything, and the budget meetings, I've been saying that the department head should come directly to the board and tell us exactly what they need, instead of having finance or city clerk or somebody else, speaking for them. I've been advocating for them to come to us, and I believe it'd be a challenge to have a liaison on there. Maybe like trustee Garcia said, maybe as a supplemental, but not for us to be presenting for them. I don't agree with that.
And maybe this can also be used like accountability, not accountability purposes, but kind of like accountability purposes, like, hey, you know, maybe you talk to, let's say you're in charge of, what is the finance department, and they're like, well, we need such and such. Maybe, the liaison can encourage them, you know, hey, you know, show up to this meeting, you know, and vouch for it, you know, and stuff like that. And again, this is just like a simple chain of command under, or, you know, I wanna see maybe we do the, amendment to the resolution for, our role as trustees, and under the liaison, you know, put whatever we discuss, like, a liaison would be such and such, you know, something to the extent where, you know, department heads, you know, need to come and vouch for the, department. But yes, you know, I am in total agreement with that. We've been, requesting that, for a while already, hence why the lawnmowers weren't passed at the previous, meeting. But, yes, this is kind of like the, overseers of the, department. You know, we get questions, a lot, you know, where is the property tax money going, or where is this money going? This is kind of, our eyes, you know, to show that our public dollar is being used, effectively, like, you know, like they should be. So yes, I'm in total agreement with that, with having department heads come and vouch for the department. Go ahead.
With that being said, I agree, and we would have to amend your duties as trustees with that liaison, because it borders real close to spearing from your legislative authority. So, it might interfere with the operational side, which is under whether we have a city manager or not, or since we're repealing that ordinance, that operational authority falls under mayor. So it might, you know, it might be wise to have an attorney present when we create those duties to make sure that we're not, you know, falling into that violation. With the current, chain of command, I understand it's a simple illustration, right? I did put it under discussion, with the advice of our attorney, because we are against state statute, accepting it like this. I know you kind of explained that mayor is just kind of, you know, under there, not making, or not saying that she's under your authority, But a board of trustees under under state statute, what is it, section 3-12-2, the mayor is included in the board of trustees. So even a simple illustration, the mayor should be equal to the board of trustees, leveled, or at least just included when removing the mayor. The only time the mayor would be separate is moving forward with the repeal, city manager ordinance, the mayor becomes our supervisor, right? I do have a copy of the current, organizational chart. I'm not sure if it was sent out. I know we discussed it a couple of months back, prior to me taking leave, but,
Carla, before you go on, can you give me the state statute number on that?
3-12-2, section D, the governing body of municipality has a mayor, city council, form of government is the council or board of members whose members are the mayor and no less than 4 or no more than 10 councilmen or trustees. So this is the one that we currently follow. I mean, of course, there has to be some updates as far as employees and stuff like that, but as you can see, she's level to the board of trustees, currently, obviously, a city manager. Right here could possibly be that liaison position that you're wanting to with each department, of course, whatever department they represent, but.
Just because you have the screen up there and I don't, would you be able to, Google the, Town of Anthony, Texas, HR handbook, just on Google and then it comes up?
The employee handbook.
Yeah. So then if you can scroll down a little bit until we see the chain of command illustration. It's like a couple of pages. Right there, so a little bit more up to like the first one. So that's how it is over there. Department liaison, chief of police and stuff like that. They also have their mayor over there, the, department, liaison. So obviously not to exclude, a member of the governing body. And again, it's like a ton of departments, including the mayor with, certain departments, liaison, would be, good. So that we're not the only ones doing the work and the mayor actually has to, work. And yeah, so yeah,
MBT, William,
go ahead.
I just don't think it's right to do that. My point of view, the mayor, she has every right to do what she needs to do with the city. We are not allowed to get into the employees' issues.
Can't hear you. Can you
We
use
are
your
not
mic?
allowed to get into the issues with the employees. That's what I understood when I was doing code enforcement. I just don't approve of what you guys are trying to do. That's my point of view.
Wow.
With the license on it.
Well, this is again, in response to, several things that have occurred. So versus, they're doing it and they're doing way better than we are, so why not implement it, here? We're literally, within like 2 minutes away from each other, and again, you can see the difference. No, city manager over there, several positions that are here aren't over there, and they're operating a lot better than we are, with way less lawsuits than we are, and probably, less salaries than we get, here. So if we want to know, hey, and we want to discredit the community because we've heard it, here a lot, by administrative members, community members, hey, it's not true what they're saying, we're actually doing such and such and such. Then this is how we discredit the, so-called comments that aren't being, true. We're overseeing our public dollar. There's nothing wrong with overseeing the public dollar. Liaisons aren't doing, aren't, telling people what to do. Again, a liaison is literally, kind of like the middle branch, of the, we have the, chief executive officer of, company, or in this case, the mayor, and we have the, board of trustees. The liaison is like the connector, we just, kind of like the informational, person, this is the information that I have, this is why I think we should pass such and such policies. Or in this case, maybe policies aren't good, that's how we, vouch, hey, I've seen this policy we passed, for example, the time clock. We just passed the time clock, maybe this liaison can vouch, it's not a good idea to have the time clock, I see it with my own eyes. So it's the informational person, not, the person telling people what to do, it's solely the informational, person.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Go ahead.
I have a concern, with trustee being Eliasa. The reason is because when it comes to a vote, and this, the trustee, whatever department needs, helping out with whatever, he's gonna, chances are he's gonna vote for it, even if the other trustees are not on board with that particular request. What my concern is that there's should that particular trustee be allowed to vote on it, since he's got all the inside information, and he's advocating for that particular department head or whatever? It's kinda like up in the air, and I'm not too comfortable with it right now. I think that maybe we should kick it around at a later date and get more like, legal opinions on it, just because I don't feel comfortable with that at all. And it might be a good thing, but then at the same time, I have questions, and I don't feel comfortable with it right now. That's the way it is. Because of legal questions that I don't know.
So-
And I need to find out.
We're now in June, and it's been months since this new administration started. We need to start getting, starting on change of policies and stuff like that. What other recommendations does the board have to solutions to what is going on with the city? There's clearly an issue, everybody knows it. What solutions are we, looking at to fix what's going on with the city? I don't know if any other member has any other solutions.
Mayor Pro Tem Rodriguez, if I may. Without repealing the city manager ordinance first, we really can't do much. I mean, you can do stuff as this, that they become effective as soon as it's repealed, but in reality, we still are a city, or what is it, mayor council with a manager form of government until that's repealed. All of city administration authority falls under mayor, just to give that.
Maybe DOE.
Go ahead.
Okay, so as it is now, we don't get information. It's basically, we're trying to, it's like pulling teeth. see what's going on.
You can do this.
Well, wait,
Okay, you can do it.
Right now, you can't.
we're not telling them what to do, just being eyes and ears. Just going to see what's happening. That's all it is, trustee Vargas. It's not telling them, you know what, you're doing your job wrong. No. I'm seeing what's going on there. Eyes and ears, since they're not coming to us. We've demanded for them to come. Are they here, the department heads? No. So let's go to them and see what's going on. See for ourselves. So that we can bring this city together and go forward. Because obviously, there's not communication right now, none at all. Do you have any communication?
Well, obviously.
I'm asking you a question, sir. Do you have any communication?
Obviously, you would have to go through the mayor and get decisions.
Sir,
Corrected.
sir, we are just being liaisons.
Well,
You know what a
that's why-
liaison
That's why
is?
we have a mayor.
Do
So
you know
can-
what a liaison
I'm
is?
not gonna argue with it, thank you.
Sir, I'm asking you a question. Do you have communication from departments?
No. Well, we don't need to.
What do you mean we
That's
don't?
why they have their supervisors in there.
We asked them to come and they don't come.
Maybe they have issues. maybe
The
they
mayor
have-
doesn't give us any information.
Well,
Especially,
we have to deal it with her in regard, whatever it is.
Okay.
That's why the mayor is there.
let me ask you a question. You might have communication with the mayor more.
No, I don't.
Does she communicate with us what's going on?
I don't have communication with you.
We don't.
Okay.
We don't have any communication.
Right.
So what are we
You still-
supposed to do?
But you still have to have communication with her.
Sir,
I
if
don't know
you don't
how.
have communication,
I don't know how, but you have to find a way.
well,
You have
that's
to-
what we're trying to do here.
So that's all I'm gonna say.
That's what we're trying to do here.
Then you guys-
Because they don't come to us, we need to basically go and get that information.
Correct.
We need to go forward. We're 6 months in, nothing's being done. We need to go forward. We're trying to make changes for the better, for the people, and you're trying to argue against
I'm
us?
not arguing.
Yes,
I'm
you
just
are.
telling you that you have to go.
It has to
through
do the mayor, to the mayor.
Simple.
Come on, if the mayor's not telling us BS,
That's
what
the
are
way
we
it
doing?
is. That's the way it is.
What do we do? We just sit here and
I can argue.
twiddle our thumbs and go forward? No. We need to be proactive
Then do what you need
for the
to do.
people.
Period.
And I'm standing up for everybody, not just myself.
Okay.
I'm tired of it. It's been 14 years since we became a city. And what do we have? We have our constituents coming up and telling us to go back to the county. We can't do that. We can't do that. We have to go forward as a board, as a city, come together and go forward. Bring these things that we need for our kids, for our future. That's what we need to do. And that's what we're trying to do, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Herrera, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not totally against a liaison, as a fact finder slash somebody that just, listens to the department heads and then backs the department head up, you know, for his wants or needs. I'm not against it, it's just that there's a lot of, it's a fine line, and I would really like to kick it around a little bit more later on, when we have the ordinance repealed on the city manager. And then we can start, then as a board, we can start doing a lot of resolutions and stuff like that. And I'm saying by July, the middle of July or something like that, if the board agrees to repeal that ordinance, then we can go ahead and start moving a lot of things that we haven't been able to do.
I mean, it's whatever the board thinks. If the board wants to postpone it until later on, we can. Again, we just heard it that if, we can pass this, it's not in the employee handbook, obviously it's not going to be set in stone. Like I was saying right now, the employee handbook is like the Bible of the city, what employees go to and, stuff like that. But yes, there is issues that I think, down to the bone issues as simple as, for example, last year for 4th of July, only certain members from the governing body were getting invited, to use that. We only have one member, from the board of trustees parking back here while the other members aren't parking back here. That's the type of member have the same luxury that other board members do? Does every, employee have the same luxuries that other, employees do? You know, I just think that, it's been a while and, I mean, look at how long it took us to bring in the, city manager ordinance. We've been a couple of months without a city manager and we're barely bringing it and we still had hearings and stuff like that. You know, this was just kind of like a green, like a jumpstart to, once the city manager ordinance is done, then we already have these things to start pulling the employee, handbook. So obviously this isn't going to be from one day or the other until, one, the city manager ordinance is repealed. Two, the HR handbook is, amended and, passed. And three, we still don't have word of the city attorney. We've requested updates to be at every city council meeting, but we haven't received that. That's one of the examples from having, a liaison. We literally, make motions up here to have things on the upcoming agenda, and all of a sudden, they're not there, or, they get changed, and stuff like that. If you look at the, actual agenda right now, even item 8B, even the email when it was sent, I want you to say resolution this and this, specify what it is, you know, that was even removed. The liaison would be an advocate for, even our operational issue where we ran into the issues from not following the open meetings act. That's what a liaison would do too, make sure that we're following